All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Ever Grain Brewing Company, and they're out of Camp Hale, Pennsylvania, and this is their Sorbetto number 57. So they're calling this one a sour ale with a blueberry, lemon, and a cheesecake, and on the side of the label it also says it contains lactose. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is just under 3.5 months old. So last fall, I reviewed 3 beers from Ever Grain, courtesy of a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Justin. He hooked me up with a huge just box, or like it was basically a case of Pennsylvania goodness, and there were some Ever Grain beers in there, and they were really good. I really enjoyed them, and some folks that watched the review said, look out for their Sorbetto series. It's basically a heavily fruited sour. They do a bunch of different variants of it, and they're numbered, and this one showed up, I think it was early to mid-April, and I love cheesecake. I specifically love blueberry cheesecake, and I saw this one, I was like, I gotta grab it. Now, I would have reviewed it earlier, but I had so many beers in my fridge courtesy of viewers of the channel and friends and whatnot, so this one's been kind of sitting in the fridge, but we should be okay. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a roll here. I don't usually do this. Maybe I'll start doing this because some folks will be like, you definitely should roll the can. I keep these upside down, but rolling the can is fine. Nothing wrong with it, but I just don't usually do it, so we'll see if it makes a difference. I usually pour the entire thing into the glass because I have a big glass to be able to do so. This is going to go everywhere, I know it, right? All over my hands. It's one thing I hate about the heavily fruited sours. They fill them to the top, which is, I'm not complaining. You're getting, your money's worth, but it always makes them very difficult to open. So anyway, let's give it a pour here. Yeah, that's looking like a heavily fruited sour for sure. Oh, there's like chunks falling out. And again, I had this upside down. I just rolled it. What are you going to do? All right. So yeah, that looks like something that has blueberry in it. For sure. Put this over here. Oh, I can smell it. It smells like blueberry. It smells like blueberry pie filling. Wow. So yeah, all the pectin and stuff on the side of the glass. So does that look like something that has a blueberry and cheesecake and lemon in it? You can bet your bottom dollar it does. So yeah, it has this really deep, like, purple color, a little bit of like a ruby red tinge in there. Definitely looks like there's real blueberries in here. It has the fruit puree and pectin around the rim. It had a head that maybe didn't even form correctly and now is dissipated to absolutely nothing. Murky, can't see through it. It definitely plays the role of a blueberry cheesecake with lemon, heavily fruited sour. Let's get a nose. It's like somebody took blueberry pie filling, or blueberry pie in general, or blueberry cheesecake. I wouldn't say cheesecake. I would say more of blueberry pie filling, and then maybe like squeezed a lemon on top of it, and that's going to fall on the ground. Whatever, we'll get that later. Yeah, I mean, it's blueberry pie filling. It's sweet. It has like a tang, almost a tangy kind of aroma, but it's sweet. It has that lemon kind of feeling to it. It's like, you know it's going to have like an acidic kind of tart quality from the lemon. But it doesn't smell overly sweet. I mean, blueberry pie filling is definitely sweet, but it doesn't smell over the top. There's a little bit of like a pastry, doughy type of thing going on. I wouldn't necessarily say cheesecake because I'm not getting the graham cracker. I would say more of a blueberry pie. I feel like despite this being a heavily fruited like dessert sour, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be very drinkable. I think that's why they added the lemon, to kind of give it probably more of like a firmly tart, sour, acidic feeling to the beer. Anyway, it's not very complex. It's blueberry pie filling, lemon, a little bit of like a doughy pastry thing that's not exactly cheesecake. Smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. That's delicious. Listen. Oh. Yeah, Ever Grain knows what the fuck they're doing. I mean, what did I have from that? I had a couple hazies. Forget the other beer. They're juicy juice. They're like shelfy hazy, or like you could find it in 12 packs and cases and everything. I compared that beer to Big Ditch's Hayburner here in the Buffalo, New York area, where it's like a staple in the area. A lot of folks are like, you're exactly right. It's kind of a staple here. You can find it all over the place. That beer was great. And for the price point, people are telling me, like, fantastic beer. But then I go back to something like this, heavily fruited sour. And, I know one of these heavily fruited sours, there's a lot of people who are just like, I'm not going to drink them. It doesn't taste like beer, so on and so forth. And that's fine, to each their own. There are good heavily fruited sours. Every single style, no matter if you cheat with these and using fruit puree and you're putting lactose and shit in it, there's well-made ones and there's not so well-made ones. This is on the higher end of a fruited sour within this style. The beauty for me is when you can get these heavily fruited sours without an over-the-top mouthfeel that makes them more drinkable, more crushable, more refreshing. This has a higher side of medium, lower side of full body. Is it thick? For something 6%? Yes. Is it over the top? It is not. It's not like drinking like eggnog. And I made that analogy in a review recently where like, you know, some of these like the RAR Brewing where they do their sours where like, you know, it almost looks like milk. Some of the Imprint schmoogies that look like milk. This doesn't have that. This is more of like, here's a regular beer. Yes, it's fruit puree post-fermentation, but it's not over the top. So I really like the body, the mouthfeel. It has carbonation. It's like mild to moderately carbonated. It is soft and smooth to some degree, a little bit of creaminess, but again, not crazy. The taste, and more specifically the finish, is where this beer shines. Forefront, tip of the tongue, lemon. It's lemon, the actual flavor of a lemon, but as it continues on, the sourness ramps up. The kind of just like the vibrancy to the lemon kind of ramps up as it continues on through your palate. But then it dissipates like about halfway through the palate and the blueberry comes in. And it's, again, fresh, over-ripened blueberries. It doesn't necessarily taste like blueberry pie like in the nose. It has an essence of that, but it's more straight on over-ripened blueberries, so sweeter blueberries. And as someone who has had over-ripened blueberries in the last couple of weeks, last month, I'm telling you, there's nothing like over-ripened blueberries. That sweet, fresh blueberry, that's what I'm getting here. And it's just resonating with me to a degree in which I thoroughly enjoy. Second half of the palate, there's an underlying cheesecake essence to this one, which is why I like the finish. It's a little bit of graham cracker mixed in with like a touch of like a cream cheese into like whipped cream kind of feeling. Again, let me stress this. It's not over the top. I don't know how many times I can say that in a single review. Maybe we'll set the record today. But a beer like this being restrained in the best way possible makes this beer absolutely delicious to my palate. When you go over the top sometimes, it's, you know, if you're too sweet, too much emphasis on like a single flavor, like that's when you start losing me. It's beautifully balanced, but it's so drinkable. Like this is so drinkable. Like I want to just crush this right now. I could crush it. It's sweet, but not overly so. There's a nice like lower side of a sourness. There's even like a semi-dry kind of finish as well. I just love the finish though. It's where everything intertwines, the blueberry, the cheesecake, the lemon. And again, it's not over the top with the sickly sweet kind of cloying feeling you can get from a lot of these beers. So this beer right here, as far as the style, heavily fruited, smoothie style, sour beer, this is really fucking good. Plain and simple, it's really good. And now I want to try more, and I have not seen any new Ever Grain since this one was released about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago, which is a bummer. But this, man, I picked this up again. Love blueberry cheesecake. I like cherry cheesecake, but this just works for me in the best way possible. I'm not going to go like crazy high on it, but let me just say that this is like what I want out of the style. Maybe it's not what you want out of the style. It's what, and it's 6% too, and it's just, you can't even tell. Anyway, Sorbetto, number 57 from Ever Grain. Absolutely no issues giving this a low 4.75 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.65 out of 5. This is phenomenal for a beer like this. And, you know, 3 ingredients, blueberry, cheesecake, and lemon. For a style like this where, you know, you'll get some of these beers and there's 23 different fruits and adjuncts in it, and like you can taste 2 of them and it doesn't make sense. This makes sense. I get everything in here. The finish is fantastic. The body and mouthfeel work for the drinkability, and it's a heavily fruited sour that I could drink an entire can, because 95% of these reviews, I'm like, I wish I shared that with someone, or I wish I could have a third of the can. I'm drinking the entire fucking thing. There's probably like 500-600 calories. I don't give a shit. It's my dessert. I'm going to enjoy it. Anyway, price and availability. I think I paid $6 for that can, which in distro, you're talking about $24 a 4-pack. That's what I pay for Mortalis and Froth, all the local stuff here. So that's a pretty good fucking price point. And if I can get any more of their stuff within this series at $6 a can, I will definitely try some more of their stuff out. For the folks that are in Pennsylvania who recommended this one to me, well, not this specific one, but the Sorbetto series, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because they're now not only firmly entrenched on my radar like they have been for the last like 8-9 months. Now this series specifically is, and I'd love to try more from the series, so I hope more shows up. And availability, it's Ever Grain, I have no idea. Outside of Pennsylvania and here showing up in the Buffalo, New York / Western New York area, I have no idea where they distribute outside of that. I think somebody said they get into Maryland, maybe Virginia, but all I know is I'm happy with this one. So if you've had this specific variant or release from them, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. If you've had anything else within the series, let me know what your favorite has been. Any more recommendations from Ever Grain in terms of specific beers or maybe styles they do well. I'd like to try maybe like a I think I had their Oktoberfest and it was pretty good. So I had Oktoberfest, a couple hazies, and now this. I'd like to try maybe a stout from them. I don't know what else they brew, but I want to try more. So huge thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. I'm going to go drink the rest out of this because, or drink the rest of, I was going to say I'm going to drink the shit out of this, but I just said drink the rest. I'm going to drink the rest out of this, okay? I'm going to drink the rest out of this. English, here we go to the next one. Cheers.